We all know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That means Coach Halftime's coming at you live. Coach Halftime is here to tell you about today's halftime speech. Now, today's halftime speech has to do with the fact of blame. I think blame is the best word to describe this, okay? Now, I'm going to use a very basic sports analogy, even though we can use this anywhere in our lives. Blame. So sometimes everybody says, oh, in basketball, what a great pass. Or in football, oh my gosh, it was an awesome pass. I just can't believe that person didn't catch it. Well, let me tell you something, everybody, okay? And I learned this from my father. My father used to say the pass is only as good as the receiver, the person on the other end of the pass, can catch it. Because if they can't catch it, so what if it's a great pass? It didn't ultimately succeed in what the effort of the team was, which was to throw and catch the ball. Now, let's take this outside of sports for a second, and let's look at our professional world. Let's look at our children. Let's look at our friends, okay? We can always be putting forth so much energy and so many words of wisdom and so many speeches and so many tales and so many, here's how you do this. But you know what? If the other person doesn't get it, if you're not communicating correctly, that pass just flew right over them and then makes you frustrated, okay? So today's speech is all about figuring out if you're communicating correctly. And now that's not easy to do. We don't think about this often. We just, right? I do it, you do it, we all do it. Come on. Don't say I don't do it. Don't say it. So think consciously next time you're explaining something to somebody or you're trying to make a point to somebody, obviously in a very polite, constructive, professional way. And maybe at the end, allow them the opportunity to say, you know, did you understand what I meant there, or is it confusing? Because if it is, it probably is confusing, so please give me some feedback. All right? It's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. We have to start figuring out if miscommunication in this case is coming from this side or the other side. And I'll tell you what, 99% of the time, it's coming from yourself, okay? Because your own thoughts are what's creating the words that come out of the mouth. It doesn't mean the person on the other end, in their ears, are hearing it the way you're saying it. So instead of just skipping over to the next thing, I would slow it down and say, does that make sense what I just said? Maybe repeat it back to me. We don't have to say it in a condescending way. But let's just go over it one more time to make sure. Because whether we're talking to a child, whether we're talking to an adult, whether we're talking in sports, whether we're talking in a boardroom, whether we're talking in school, it doesn't really matter, okay? We have to make good passes all the time. Bam, 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 boom, boom, boom. And those passes have to be right on. But if the person receiving those passes can't catch them, might as well not even throw the pass. Reevaluate the way you communicate with people, and let's see where that takes you. That's your life lesson for today. Coach Halftime, I'm out. Woo!